Now that we are wrapping up the year, let's see in this video what has been the most important news in P2P lending investments during the year 2025. And let's also look at what we might see during the year 2026, so stay until the end of this video. Before we start, I would like to invite you to join the Telegram community where you can share experiences and opinions with other investors. I would also like to invite you to subscribe to this channel so you don't miss more interesting videos about investments. Now let's get to it. I would say that 2025 has been a stable year for P2P lending. It has also been a year in which we have seen the emergence of quite a few new platforms. But if there is one thing that has really defined this year, it has been bonus campaigns and temporary cashback promotions. In previous years, these extra returns were usually aimed only at new investors. However, over the past year, platforms have been competing not only to attract new investors, but also to capture more capital from existing ones. How? By offering temporary promotions for increasing portfolio size or for investing in a specific project or a specific loan originator. When it comes to offered returns, we have seen two clear trends. On the one hand, new platforms entering the market have offered very high returns, above 15%, to attract investors at least during their first months. Returns that, in the long run, will not be sustainable. And on the other hand, the more established platforms in the market have reduced the interest rates they offer. Some have even dropped below double digits, falling under 10%. This is the case for platforms such as Robocash, Peerberry, or even Esketit on some loans. On platforms like ViaInvest, we have also seen a slight decrease in interest compared to previous years, although it still offers returns above 11%. Despite this drop in interest rates, platforms like Peerberry and Robocash have experienced periods of cash drag. It has not been constant, but it has been frequent during many moments of 2025. All this, despite the fact that both platforms offer lower interest rates. As of today, there is practically no cash drag on Robocash, and however, it does persist on Peerberry. Although the platform has already announced that in 2026 there will be a higher loan volume and new loan originators. Mintos has simplified its auto-invest strategies and investment filters. This can be seen in the video tutorial on how to invest from scratch on Mintos. Another major development has been the arrival of bond investing with auto-invest. Indemo has continued to grow and repay debts with high returns. During 2025, they repaid a total of 10 debts. Over the entire history of the platform, this brings the total to 14 repaid debts. In addition, we now have more control over diversification as each node includes a single property. This can also be seen in a dedicated video on the topic, and it is expected that they will very soon launch a more powerful auto-invest tool. On Debitum, the loan originator Triple Dragon was delayed in payments for several weeks. The way the platform reacted earned investors' trust. Not only did they resolve the delay quickly, but from the very beginning they communicated with transparency. In addition, in 2025, they launched their loyalty program, which rewards investors who allocate more capital to the platform with an extra percentage of return. And since mid-2025, we have another regulated platform. Afranga has re-emerged as a regulated platform. It now holds the European Crowdfunding Service Provider license, and this has slightly changed the way of investing. You no longer invest directly in personal loans, but in loans to originators, which in turn grant personal loans. This is because European crowdfunding regulation only allows financing to companies. In addition to being regulated, it now has more loan originators, and not all of them belong to the same group as the platform. In the final months of the year, Esketit moved its headquarters from Ireland to Croatia. Overall, the change has been somewhat chaotic, or rather, it has not been explained clearly enough. In addition, over the past year, Esketit has lost its main loan originator. As a result, loan volume has been very low throughout the year, with significant cash drag. Will we see higher loan volumes and new originators next year? We hope so, but for now there is no news about it. Domoblock has been one of the platforms that has grown the most in my portfolio during 2025. Many new investors have also started investing in it, although it has not always been easy as projects are funded very quickly. A piece of good news for new investors is that since December, only 50% of each project is allocated to private sales for existing investors. This gives new investors more opportunities. Several projects have been repaid, some ahead of schedule, others with slight delays, but all of them with returns higher than initially estimated. I also started investing in another Spanish real estate platform, BD Capital. Here it is easier to invest since, being less well-known, projects take longer to be fully funded. They usually launch new projects every 1 to 1.5 months. They offer conservative returns and risk. And they are almost always real estate developments in the Canary Islands where the platform originates. In 2025, Nectaro turned 2 years old. Although it is not one of the most popular platforms, it has steadily gained investors throughout the year. While some discard it for not offering short-term loans, others invest in Nectaro because it is regulated and offers high returns. In 2025, LenderMarket repaid all outstanding payments to investors. That said, some investors had to reinvest their pending capital. In any case, it is an important achievement that the platform managed to overcome such a situation. Not many platforms do. In most cases, they simply disappear. LenderMarket, however, has endured, and as I mentioned at the beginning, several new platforms were launched in 2025. Let's look at the main ones. 8lens is the sister platform of Maclear. It operates with cryptocurrencies. You invest in USDC in business projects, usually high risk, with high loan-to-value ratios and returns that in many cases exceed 20%. Devon is another new platform on the market. It is a Baltic real estate platform that finances its own projects. And it belongs to a large real estate group that had already been financed in the past through other P2P lending platforms. Astera is also a Baltic real estate platform, and in this case, it belongs to a smaller group. It has a very ambitious project to build a small sustainable village about 25 kilometers from Riga. Both Devon and Astera use the same technology as Ventus. They are not related to each other, but they do share similar characteristics. Among them, a minimum investment of 1,000 euros, daily interest payments, and the option of early exit. Modena is another new Baltic platform as it is not real estate based but focused on personal loans. It offers simple and easy investments. Although the platform is new, Modena has been financing consumer loans since 2019. Finforta and FF Forest are two sister platforms that were launched in 2025. On Finforta, you can invest in the crypto market using euros. On FF Forest, you can invest in forests in the Baltic region. As new platforms, they currently offer very high returns, but we will probably not see these returns for long. And what can we expect for the new year? In 2026, we will undoubtedly see new platforms entering the market. We will probably also see new types of investments. If in 2025 we saw forestry investments, perhaps next year new and innovative alternatives will emerge. We will see more simple investments. More platforms with one-click investment options designed for those who do not want complexity. We will also see more options that provide liquidity. Investors are asking for it. We want short terms or the ability to sell out investments. We can see this in platforms that offer instant withdrawals, even if with lower returns, which are very popular. For this reason, both new and established platforms may join this trend. We might even see the introduction of secondary markets on well-established platforms. It is possible that some platform will decide to opt into regulation. However, I do not expect major changes in this area. Regulations remain complex. They are not designed or specifically adapted to this type of investment. In many cases, they represent more of a disadvantage than a benefit, both for platforms and investors. We will see what 2026 brings for our investments. And to always stay up to date with the latest crowdlending investment news, I encourage you to subscribe to the newsletter I send every 2 weeks with the most important updates. I also invite you to join the Telegram community where you can share experiences and opinions with other investors. Before you go, if you like this video, give it a like and subscribe to the channel so you do not miss the next videos. I wish you a happy 2026 and very prosperous investments. See you next year.